Welcome back to Life Leadership with Alex Urbina, right here in your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. Joining us in studio today is Susan Contreras from the Domestic Violence Center. We've been talking to her about bullying, and I know one of the things that we definitely wanted to talk about is how to empower the bullies to stop bullying people.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think a big part of the whole bullying experience, like you were sharing, Alex, is that you weren't really consciously aware that you were hurting this other kid, right?
That's the key, is that I wasn't consciously aware of it. But had I had some kind of a conscious experience or awakening to it, I think that my heart, my soul, my spirit would have said, hey, knock it off. Or maybe if I would have had somebody that would have called me on it or confronted me on it, had the courage to say something, I probably would have been more aware to it. And for me, I know that some of the trainings that I do has that awakening experience, and what it does is it brings those kids together. So let's say it's a group of 20 kids doing one of my trainings. They're going to go through experiences and like some team bonding and some vulnerable moments together where they actually start to gel. They start to have compassion for each other, and through some of the processes they go through, it's hard to bully somebody when you know their story.
Isn't that so true?
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
When you know their story and you're hooked to them, like a heartstring from heart to heart, you're less likely to bully them.
Yes.
And when we first started this show, on a couple of the shows, we had some of the kids from Canyon High that they have a program that's sort of similar to what I do. And what it's designed to do is to bring the kids together so that they have an experience, so that they open up and share. And when people are opening up and sharing and being vulnerable like that, you now instantly have a connection to them, and it's less likely for you to bully them or to make fun of them, because now you have compassion for them. You have compassion for what they've gone through. And I think that more of these programs and bringing kids together and having them share and connect, you're going to start noticing that if you implement those programs in some of the schools or all the schools, you're going to notice that we're going to have a reduction, I think, in bullying, period.
Absolutely,
Right.
absolutely.
Right.
What I'm hearing you say is that the first thing that needs to happen is a bully needs to know that they're an actual bully, that they're hurting people. That
because they may
it's
not even be conscious of it.
Exactly.
Right.
And that other people need to make that bully aware of it, whether it's another student that stands up to them and says, hey, no, this is not okay. You just making fun of me all the time is not okay.
All it takes is one courageous person
Right.
in that group to go, you know what, that wasn't cool. Or you know what, I'm just gonna stop. I'm gonna declare that from this point forward, I'm just gonna stop making fun of people.
Yeah, and what about the other, let's say it's a group of 6 kids, right? And there's one major bully and kind of the kid that gets picked on. What about the other 4 people in the group?
That's
They're
what I'm
just
talking
standing
about.
by.
Those are the
Right.
ones I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I'm not talking
yeah.
about the kid that obviously hasn't stood up for himself because he doesn't know how, and he can't find it within himself to speak up for himself or to stand up for himself
Right.
for whatever reason. But what about the other 4 or 5
Exactly.
in that group?
That are just
Right.
watching it.
Yeah, and and you know that in their mind as they're watching it, you know they want to say something too.
Or they don't think
Right.
it's okay.
Yeah, they know that it's not okay, or they're going along because it's the cool thing. It's like, I don't want now, or I'm just glad it's not me.
Yeah.
Right? I'm glad it's not me and it's Wendy, so we're all going to just gang up on Wendy.
Right. Yeah. I wish one of those kids would have stood up for me. And then I also wish I would have stood up. Absolutely. That I would have had the tools, or somebody would have said, hey, Wendy, here are the tools that you need to, really empower yourself to say something, that it's not okay.
You know, one of the things I think about too is back then when we were growing up was, and this is a question, so we'll just be in the question for a moment. Was bullying going on at the same rate or that it was then that it is now? Or is it that we're just more aware of it now and we have media and maybe kids are committing suicide because of it? So it's more heightened and we're more aware of it because of the media? Or were kids being depressed and committing suicide back then and doing those kinds of things back then too? I'd have to think that they were. It just wasn't out in the media as much.
Well, I think in the social media, too, now it brings a whole new platform for kids to go out and bully others.
Another arena.
Right. And parents, I mean, you've heard the stories where parents actually go onto Facebook and create fake personas so that they can then start bullying some of the kids that their child has been bullying.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, or retaliate against a bully that their child has been bullied by, or things of that nature. So there's actually new laws in California that are coming out regarding cyberbullying, and per se, Facebook is one of the biggies that they really want to start keeping tabs on, basically for that reason, because there was suicides that were connected to it, and it's getting really bad.
Scary.
With all the
Scary,
with all the depression. And
but Susan, isn't it that a kid can't even have a Facebook page until they're a certain age? Don't they have to be 15 or something like that by
I think
law?
it's 13
to have a Facebook
right,
page?
to have a Facebook page.
Oh, okay.
But a lot of parents don't. They don't check on there to see, what their child's doing. So, anybody can create a Facebook page and they can change their age to whatever they want because it's just a button to push.
Isn't that amazing?
Right.
Wow.
You just create a fake birth date.
Right.
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 That's what they were doing on MySpace in the beginning. Kids were saying they were 15, 16. They were 12
Right.
years old.
Right.
Or 10 years old with the MySpace page.
Right.
And
So
then
it's
they're
really
getting
up to the
messages.
parent, at that point to make sure that they're not, their kids aren't engaging in any type of Facebook or other social medias that might be putting them in danger, putting their age out there, where they go to school, what their phone numbers, their home addresses. There's all this different information that kids are putting out there that could actually endanger them and put them in harm's way for bullies.
How do the schools intervene in that? What do you think some of the possibilities of the schools intervening? I think I was reading an article where it said if schools have a no bullying policy, no tolerance for bullying, and they stand there, that they're less likely to have incidents in their school. But I don't know how much it would take for you to actually enforce it, right? Because there's a difference between having the policy and actually enforcing it.
Right. Isn't that true?
A lot of schools don't really want to take the responsibility for any of the bullying that's going on. And that comes down from kids that have actually committed suicide on their campuses. And that's where it gets really sticky and they don't want to get involved as much. There are a lot of different programs out there. You can search the website, the web, and there's a lot of websites out there that will give you information to bring some good programs to schools so that they do, adopt a anti-bullying or something that they can stick with, that they're going to go across the board with all kids. I know that a lot of times right now, even on Facebook, there are some schools out there that if your child comes in with proof that another student has been bullying them on Facebook, the school actually will step in now as well too.
That's
we have a great group out here, the SCV Youth Project.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That they're involved in our schools, and I know they have programs where they're out there talking and doing presentations about bullying.
Right.
So I know that they're doing some amazing stuff for us out here in the Santa Cruz Valley.
Right. Right.
That's great. That's great. I'd love to hear more about these programs available to really support bullies and families that are dealing with this. Because I know families just,
Not support bullies.
support the ending of bullying.
There you go.
Let me get clear on that. Great. So you're listening to Life Leadership with Alex Urbina right here on your hometown station, AM 1220, KHTS.
And